What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Hot List. I'm your host, Matt Johnson with Keller Realty, and I come to y'all Monday through Friday around 12 o'clock Central Standard Time. We hang out and talk real estate. We talk properties new to the market with recent price reductions or something unique about the property that I want to share with y'all and want y'all to know. I also answer a question of the day that is submitted by a listener of the podcast. To find out how you could get your question answered on air, just stick around to the end. Finally, I recognize and thank a sponsor of the week each and every single week. If you're interested about or want some more information about what it takes to become a sponsor of the week and be featured on the hot list for that particular week, just hang out with me for a few minutes and I will get that information over to you. So, first and foremost, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Whether you are catching this live, catching this on the replay, or your podcast player of choice, I just want to thank you for tuning in and joining me. I greatly appreciate it. What is the point of the hot list? Well, there are a number of properties that when they come up for sale, a lot of times they go quickly. And in this market, things are going quickly. I still feel it's worth talking about some homes, educating people about the homes, and really just letting people know what could stand out to them or what may stand out to me about the home in order that it would benefit them or their family. So obviously it is not 12 o'clock for those tuning in live. I have some appointments and meetings. I'm going to have that throughout the rest of this week and probably the rest of this month. So I am going to be doing this early because I'd rather do it sooner and get it done than later and not do it at all. So the property that we are talking about today is a newly listed property. And what I like about this house is not just the backyard, but where it's located as well. So the address is 2184 Morningside Drive, right here in Emporia. This is in the Country Club Heights area. It is a 4 bedroom, 5 bath house and has an attached two car garage. And yes, you heard me. That's right. 4 bed, 5 bath house. It's got 4,016 square feet of finished space in the house. Currently listed for 290,000 courtesy of Farm and Home Real Estate. This house is a split level house. I mentioned that it's in Country Club Heights. What I like about this house is the close proximity it has to Jones Park. So if you have kids, pets, maybe you just want to exercise, Jones Park is right across the street. Those familiar with the Emporia area, it has 3 disc golf courses there. It's got 3 ponds on there, so you could take your kids fishing. You can walk your dogs, or maybe you can just get out and walk and get some exercise yourself with the close proximity to the park. Throughout the house, it has a combination of hardwood and some flooring as well. There is a bonus room in the basement. It's got a wood burning fireplace, nice large family size kitchen. So, an actual family size kitchen, so you're not on top of each other. Huge backyard that's going to be fenced in, and not something every home has. It has a backup generator in case you lose power, as well as 2 HVAC units. So that makes this house really unique, makes it stand out from a lot of others. So make sure you click on the link in the description. And while the house is available, you can check out the pictures and more information for yourself. Just a reminder, once the property goes under contract and is sold, that link will no longer work, so you won't be able to use it. If you have any questions about the property, I would love to answer those for you. If you are a pre-approved buyer, not currently working with an agent, and want to take a look at the house or some more information, I would be happy to have that conversation with you and schedule a showing. All right. So before we get to the question of the day, I do want to recognize and thank our sponsor of the week this week, and that is the Lyon County Boosters. For those that don't know, they are a recent recent company, um, recent fundraising uh, organization that came about when COVID happened. Uh, they did an event last year that was the first annual Bowling for Businesses event, and that was to raise funds for businesses that were affected and had to close their doors due to COVID. So the goal of Lyon County Boosters is to fundraise with the intent to stimulate the local economy. And they have the second annual Bowling for Businesses event coming up this Saturday, June 12th. Make sure you click on the link in the description. That's going to take you right to the Lyon County Boosters Facebook page. From there, you can get event updates. You can see what information is available. They've published articles uh, about applying and being a potential recipient for the funds uh, from donated or fundraised from the event. Last year, they were able to help 4 entities here in the Lyon County area, and I know that a lot of hard work and everything goes into it. Lanes are still available. There are 3 different time slots available for the second annual Bowling for Businesses event. If you have questions, I would be happy to send you a flyer as well. 3 time slots available. If you visit bowlingforbusinesses.com, you can get a live update of lane availability as well as schedule your team, or there is also sponsorship opportunities available as well. So if you have questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I would be happy to give you some additional information. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor of the week and want to be featured on the hot list, all you have to do is shoot me a message here on Facebook, or you can drop a comment in your podcast player of choice, and I'd be happy to have a further in-depth conversation with you what it takes to become a sponsor of the week and be featured on the hot list. That's going to bring us to my favorite portion of the show, and that is the question of the day. The question of the day is submitted by a listener of the podcast. So each and every day that I answer a question, it is submitted by somebody that reaches out to me with some type of real estate question. If you have a real estate question, you're not sure where to start, I would be happy to be the real estate resource that you use and reach out to, because if you have that question, there's a high chance somebody else is also going to have that question as well. And I'd love to answer that question as well as use it for future videos and content just like this one, because I'm not able to continue to come up with these on my own all the time. So your questions greatly help me out, and they help everybody else out as well. So the question of the day: are attic vents beneficial for my home? So there are a couple things to know when it comes to attic vents, because you want to keep your home cool in the summer, warm in the winter, and every homeowner's goal should be to accomplish that. And this can be done, of course, by upgrading your windows to more energy efficient windows, as well as performing seasonal maintenance to your HVAC system. This is just going to help keep everything in optimal condition. Now, what's often overlooked are the influence that your attic temperature can have on your home. Now, I recently showed a home last week that in the comments, it was boasting automatic attic vents. So this led the buyer to ask what these are they beneficial? Do they regulate temperatures like they're claiming they do? So I informed the buyer that you might just be surprised at how effective automatic vents can help regulate temperatures. So what we're going to talk about today, go in a little bit more depth and detail than I went with him, and what we'll cover today. So what we're going to talk about Three things to know about automatic attic vents. So, not just attic vents, but automatic attic vents. Number one, hot attic versus cold attic. It's pretty common knowledge that heat rises. Hopefully, I don't have to tell you all that. You've lived in your house long enough that you can feel it. However, most disregard where that hot air goes. They just typically don't pay attention to it. So if your attic isn't well ventilated, it can actually build up and increase the temperature of the attic. Now, while this may not sound like a big deal, if your attic is already filled with hot air because it can't escape, future hot air won't have anywhere to go and it will remain in your home, causing the temperature in your home to rise and your AC unit to work harder. Now, it's not a huge deal come wintertime because you want to keep your home warmer, but in the summer, it can be pretty miserable. Now you have the opposite situation if attic vents stay open. And the reason for that is heat can escape more easily. So if it's cold outside, your heat's escaping too quickly, and this causes the heat in your house to escape as well. And in the wintertime, this is really going to give your home more of that, quote unquote, winter chill feeling. Now, either way, whether it's summer or winter, this can lead to higher energy costs to heat your home or cool your home. Number two, proper attic venting. Proper ventilation is really going to be the key to solving this issue. However, keep in mind this is not a one size fits all solution because in the summer, you want your attic vents to be open so they're able to release that heat, keeping your attic as cool as possible. Now, kind of like we just talked about in the winter, you want those vents closed so you can hold as much heat for as long as possible so your furnace isn't always kicking on and trying to keep your house warm. Now, these vents, if you have attic access or maybe the access is outside, they can be open manually. You can typically make it part of your seasonal maintenance. And just keep in mind, this is not a perfect solution for doing this. So unless you want to open or close your vents all year to help with the temperature fluctuations in whether it's outside in your home or in your attic, you're still going to be losing money to unnecessary heating and cooling costs. Which brings us to number three, automatic attic vents. Now, this is where you're going to see the benefit of an automatic attic vent because the vents are typically connected to thermostats, whether it is your in home thermostat or some of them have their own built in thermostat that you can program. And when you program those, they're going to monitor the condition of the attic for heat as well as humidity. And those vents are going to open or close as needed based on the temperature conditions in your attic as well as humidity. So if the temperature goes too high during the summer, the vents are going to be open and let a lot of that unwanted heat and humidity out. When the temperature drops, of course, those vents are going to close to prevent any of that outside heat from coming back into the attic. Winter is going to be the opposite. The vents are going to stay shut to keep warm air in the attic because you don't want that cold air coming in the attic and cooling down the house. Many of the automatic vents function as simple ventilation unit, meaning they have little function beyond opening and closing. So there are different styles available out there that may include a connected fan to force air out or let it in, and this can have a greater effect. Adding something like this to your attic can make a noticeable difference in how warm or cool your attic gets and stays. So it's worth looking into. These, of course, can be purchased from most home improvement stores, Amazon, eBay. They're simple to install if you or replace if you have an existing one you're just wanting to update. If you're not sure how to install it yourself, where it should go, the ideal position, or how to hook it up, please feel free to call me. I do have a 5-star vendor list for contractors that I'm happy to share with you, that I've had luck with, other clients have had luck with as well, that these contractors always give that 5-star service and will show up as well. So that is going to wrap it up for me. So are attic vents beneficial for your home? Yes, they are, absolutely, especially if you upgrade to an automatic attic vent. So it's connected to a thermostat. When that heat gets too much, it will open that vent, let that heat out, and then close once the temperature cools down. So none of that heat during the summer comes back in. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening to me on this episode of The Hot List. Again, I'm your host, Matt Johnson with Keller Williams Realty. I do this because your experience matters and should be trusted with a veteran. Y'all have a phenomenal Monday, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Take care.